What I see in you is so hard to find. It makes me feel alive, feel alive. Feel alive, feel alive, feel alive. You make me feel it's adventure time. Couldn't get you out of my mind, even if I tried. Out of my mind, out of my mind. I know it's strange, decisions are made, but with you
Welcome back to my channel. Recently I've been trying to upgrade my apartment by adding new things over time. I haven't really been showing that process because I honestly don't know if anyone is interested in watching that, but I've been really wanting to customize my space and just kind of make it feel more like home and more kind of like me. I never used to really care about my space or how it looked. I kind of just only cared if it was clean and functional. But now I kind of feel like if I don't like the way it looks, it bothers me. I feel like the things around me do kind of impact my mood and like it makes me feel happier when my space looks nice. So yeah, I mean, I've just been kind of on that journey. I started a little project a while ago where I bought some wall plates from Home Depot and started doing little paintings on them. The first one I did is of these oranges in a tree, and I really liked how it turned out. I've been trying to really just trust my intuition when I'm about to paint each one of these and what I kind of want for each room. I've been really thinking about like how the image kind of ties into the room, if that makes sense. Like a lot of this I'm just doing by pure intuition, so I don't really like know exactly what I'm talking about. But like, for example, when I go into my kitchen, I have this like feeling where like my kitchen needs to be like lush, green. Like I do think about fruit and like food in the kitchen. So like that's kind of why I did oranges, I guess. And then I started another wall plate that it was going to be like grapefruit as well, and I was gonna do that for the bathroom. I really didn't like the way that it was looking, so I'm gonna paint over that today. And I'm thinking that for that one, we go with strawberries. I don't know why, but I always pictured my bathroom being red. I don't even really like red that much. A lot of red in a lot of my paintings, so I don't know what I'm saying, but I don't know, I kind of did picture like a red bathroom. Strawberries to me make sense there. Bathroom also is the furthest from being anywhere close to what I want it to look like. I hate my bathroom. I'm not showing it to you. I hate it so much. I think it's like the ugliest bathroom ever. Maybe one day you'll get to see my bathroom, but that's not today. I've always really been interested in just like flat art. So like woodcut kind of like cutouts and just like flat color. So I kind of want to go for that style of painting for the bathroom wall plate. For the entryway wall plate, I was thinking of doing like a little pond, something water. And then for, I guess, like my dining room over here space, I wanted to do like something at night. I really don't know why I'm picking these. It's just like a intuition thing. All right, so I'm gonna get started with the first wall plate here. We're gonna start with the bathroom one, which is the strawberries. I'm just gonna gab while I'm painting, which is so different from what I normally do. Something that I was talking about a bit in my last video was just that I was really trying to focus on taking care of myself, which thankfully has carried over to this month. Sun has been staying out longer, and that's been a huge deal for me just in general for staying happier. I don't know where any of you live, but in Canada, it's like winter is tough. Winter is tough. February's been kind of a really busy month for me. One of my pieces was in a book, which was really cool. So I participated in this art show in 2019. It was a competition, and it's basically for artists across Canada. I was shortlisted for that competition, and then they have an opening night for it in Kingston, Ontario. For that opening night, they basically let you know if you've won or lost the competition. So they do like first place, second place, and third place. I didn't win anything. Spoiler, I didn't win anything, but like honestly, it was just really fun to go and participate in something like that. So yeah, they basically contacted me and they said that they wanted to create a book of all of the artists that have participated in this competition over the years. The book looks amazing, first of all. Hardcover, which we love. Colors look great. It's just a beautifully printed book. And yeah, it's just like really cool to like be in a book, first of all, and then just be in a book with so many amazing, talented people. One of my teachers is actually in that book that I had in school, and like that's also very crazy because he's a amazing artist and very accomplished. So, you know, being in a book with him, I'm like, oh my God. So that was kind of like a big deal for me. The opening was at the AGO, which was really cool. I took some shots that, I don't know if I've inserted them already, but I took a few shots of that night, but really not much because I was just so nervous. I don't know why I was nervous. I didn't have to give a speech or anything like that. I literally just showed up and they gave me a book and some wine, which was great. I think I always get worried that I'm going to like go to these competitions and artists are gonna be like really weird and judgy and I'm not gonna fit in with anyone. But I can pretty confidently say that, at least for Toronto artists, like they're all very cool. Like they're all just really like accepting and so friendly and willing to talk ideas, and I don't know, they're very easy to talk to and be around. So I don't know why I always psych myself out and I get nervous for no reason. Yeah, everyone was great. A few people asked me to sign their book like beside my artwork, which I thought was really cute and funny. So I did that, and yeah, it was a fun night. I also had my birthday in February. Me and my sister were twins, so we always go out every year for our birthday and just celebrate it together. So that's kind of our little tradition that we do, and we did that, and it was a wonderful night. I also went to a concert too. I saw a Sal. Not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm a new fan, so not sure if I'm saying that right or not, but she was really cool. I'll put up like some of my favorite songs from her. That was a very fun night. I went with Brandon. I love seeing like live shows with Brandon. He's pretty much the only person I go with, but anywhere that I go with him, I know is going to be fun. Yeah, I had a great night. I've seen a lot of artists talking about the book, The Artist's Way. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for over 10 years. I'm not even joking. It's been a long time, but I've always put it off. I decided a few days ago that I was going to, you know, read it and like it's time. So I ordered it. Honestly, it should be arriving any minute. I'm really looking forward to just like diving into that book. If you don't know what that book is, it's basically like a self-help book for artists. But if you're feeling burnt out or like you feel like you're not a creative person or you're just kind of having doubts about things, apparently it's supposed to kind of help you through that and get you back into your creativity through exercises. I'm super excited to kind of read it and start doing the exercises and just kind of, I don't know, start feeling a little bit more confident, I guess. Something that I've realized lately is that creativity is a luxury. If you can't give your brain the space to wander, it's going to be harder for you to come up with ideas. The space in which you come up with ideas is when you're not really thinking about anything in particular. Your thoughts are just everywhere. And if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed constantly, then you can't give yourself that freedom to go into that state. And that kind of is something that, I don't know, like I've been thinking about a lot lately. I've kind of just been in a period of like stress for so long that I think that's why it's been so difficult for me to want to be creative the last few years, is that it's just my brain has not had a break and I feel like it kind of needs one. I've also been reading a book called Research for People Who Think They Would Rather Create. It's okay. I don't know if anyone's heard of this book or whatever. I thought that it was going to be essentially this guy talking about artists and how they kind of came up with their ideas and their concepts to create their work. And it is a bit about that, but it's not as much about that as I wanted it to be. Just a very kind of brief overview of those works, and then it goes into research documents on how to create a research paper, which is cool and fine, but I don't know, I've already kind of done that academic work before, and I don't need to go through it again. So yeah, I think maybe I just misinterpreted what the book was about. But if any of you are interested, that's what the book is about. Okay, so my strawberry wall plate is not looking super good. I think the issue is just that there's not enough contrast, so I'm going to add some more blue just to kind of make sure there's more separation and you can tell what's going on with the strawberries instead of it like looking like a blob. This is actually a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. I don't know why, but simple art is way more difficult to me than something that's, I guess, seemingly more complicated. Like leaving things alone for me is like impossible. It's like I need to do one more brush stroke. I turn it into something else because I keep saying one more. All right, so I think I'm mostly done. Don't know if I have time today to start on another one because this literally took me the whole day, but honestly, that's fine. That is a-okay. I think I'm gonna start on my next one tomorrow and go from there. Alright, so it's voiceover Sarah here. I wasn't feeling super well the next day, so I just kind of decided to make myself some food and just chill. And then I did end up doing a kind of simple painting. I did imagine the wall plate to be simple, and I'm just not sure if I like the way it turned out. Initially, I wanted to do something that was really impasto and loose, but the more I started painting, the more I started to dislike it. Instead of it feeling loose to me, it just felt messy. Ultimately, I decided to start again and just did something from my head rather than look at a reference. I remember a long time ago when I was in school, one of my teachers said something that I think about all the time, and it's basically to never work from your head. I know that not everyone's going to agree with that, and sometimes people are really good at drawing from their head, but he said if you want something to look real, then you need to base it in reality. If you need to build a miniature set, then take photos, then do it that way. If you need to set up a scene and paint it, then do that. So I think about that a lot, and it's kind of prevented me from working from my head. I've had a bit of time to start reading The Artist's Way, and I've started doing my morning pages. For those of you who don't know what those are, it's just a different way to basically say journaling, or at least that's how I'm interpreting it. It's sort of like a brain dump that you do right in the morning, every morning. I'm oddly nervous to start doing some of these exercises. One of the things you have to do is take yourself out on an artist date every week. The author says not to make it too stuffy, so for instance, if galleries are not your thing, but you're a painter, then don't take yourself to a gallery. You're supposed to basically just go and enjoy the experience. One of the main rules of doing these dates is that you have to go alone. I've been trying to think about things that I would be comfortable doing alone, but ultimately I think the point of the exercise is that you get out of your comfort zone so that experience can spark something within you. Anyway, we'll see what I end up deciding for my date. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this painting without my voice, and yeah. Okay, so number one, I'm trying to get more comfortable just filming in public, but it's so awkward. I just took myself out on like an artist date. We started small. I literally went to Dollarama and bought myself a little notebook so that I could continue journaling in for my morning pages for the Artist's Way. And then I also bought a little gift bag. It's my nephew's birthday in like, well, it's still a while away, but it's like coming up to me. It's on my mind. So I bought myself like a gift bag because I figured, well, I'm gonna need it eventually. So I also didn't bring a bag with me because I wasn't planning on going on an artist date. This was not planned. I actually planned on going for a walk because that's also something that the Artist's Way recommends, is just like going on a 20-minute walk. But this turned out to be a little bit longer. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna take a different way home and get a little lost. And yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, update. The weather has so incredibly turned on me, and I did get like a little turned around. So it's like it started raining and now it's snowing. Didn't foresee this happening, mainly because I did not check the weather today, and that is my bad. Send help, and hopefully see you on the other side. So I literally just got home. I am exhausted. I was out for over an hour and I really only anticipated being out for 20 minutes. So that was cool. I have no plans to go out for the rest of the night. I'm just gonna chill and have tea. Just glad I made it home. If that was a real date that I went on, I wouldn't be going again. You know, didn't love it. Yeah, but anyway, I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the night and be quiet with Lucy. Me again. All right, so I'm going in for my last wall plate and I'm really excited for this project to be done. It's actually like really fun for me to do. I don't know why it took me so long to complete it. For the other two wall plates, I used oil paint, but I think for this one, I'm gonna use gouache. I just wanna see the difference and see if I like painting with gouache on like plastic. I'm not gonna go in with gesso, mainly because I think that I might have some issues with it being fully opaque and the gesso showing underneath. Sorry if you hear little feet walking around, it's just Lucy. Anyway, I just wanna try something different. Okay, so as I'm painting this, I'm learning that gouache with no gesso was a mistake, but sometimes you don't know unless you try. So I think even though it was a mistake, now I know. The issues that I'm basically having is the paint is too slippery, so when I try to layer the paint, it's getting streaky and it is removing the layers underneath. I feel like I can still make it work, but it's just a bit tricky. I don't know why, but I kind of want to use the clay varnish to seal this one with. I just want to see how it looks and if it like is going to work. So I think at the end of this, I'm going to use that. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Artist's Way because I've been doing all these exercises and they've just been on my mind lately. I actually feel like it's a really useful book if you're struggling. I think the only thing is that you really need to commit to the process, which I think most people who are reading this book are willing to commit to it, because having a creative block is honestly just, it's the worst thing ever if you are a creative person. So I think it's easy for most people to commit to that process. I think there's still some things like I'm definitely just resisting myself. Like there's a whole section on affirmations and it's just, she calls them blurts, but basically, you know, you say an affirmation and then you repeat it and write it out over and over again. And your blurt is the, you know, your negative voice kind of talking. And it's really hard to like not listen to that stuff. I find it really challenging to say the opposite of what my negative thought is telling me. So like for instance, let's say the affirmation is I'm a creative person. My blurt is like, no, you're not. Like, you know, and part of the reason that I think I'm having a block right now is just because of all of that negative self-talk, that talk that I have going on. So It's hard, I think, especially if you've gone to art school and you have that critical voice within yourself, just because, you know, you've had so many critiques and you do look at art critically, which is why I think that art school can kill a lot of artists, is they become too analytical. And I think that that's kind of what I've become a bit of over the years. I think naturally I am an analytical person. So it's hard to kind of kill that voice telling me to not, you know, judge my creations. That's for someone else to do. So yeah, it's just that part of it I'm finding really challenging, but overall I feel like the experience is really good. So, you know, if you're a creative person and you are kind of going through a little bit of a block right now, I really recommend this book. I think that it could be really helpful. I've only read like 1 to 2 chapters, so I'm probably going to be talking more about this book in maybe my next video or next few videos, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's great and definitely worth a read if, you know, you're struggling. All right, so I'm done. Overall, I'm really happy with how these turned out, even though the moon one, I don't think it looks as bad actually as I initially thought. I think it just could be better, but I'm okay with leaving it how it is. I did notice as I was putting some of these up that some of the paint was peeling as I was trying to screw in the wall plates, but honestly, like, it's kind of whatever to me. It's peeling because the paint is rubbing against each other in the screws. I think in the future, if I were to do this again, all I would do is just not paint the screws, and that would probably solve my whole issue. But I'm fine with the way it looks. I'm cool with it. And yeah, I think they look great. You guys can tell me if you think they look great. Anyway, that's gonna be the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video because I loved making it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.